Good afternoon. Welcome to the second Complete Mobile product deep dive. 60% of you said you wanted more product updates, so we've created these sessions specifically to keep you up to date with any product developments, any mandatory or regulatory information, and also share any product insights that we're seeing that could be valuable to you and to your organisation. It's great to have you with us. I'm Nick Hutton, Proposition Specialist, and I'm your host for today. We're going to be covering quite a broad range of topics, some things that are new and some things that you've specifically asked for. I'm also joined by my colleagues Charlie and Kieron, and you'll be hearing from them very shortly. So what are we covering? Well, first off, I'm going to just give you a brief positioning on Complete Mobile, where we are in terms of the portfolio, what we've been adding and what's coming up. And then I'll pass to Kieron, who's going to talk about Ofcom regulations, and you'll get an understanding of how we're keeping you in being compliant with your end users when they roam internationally. We'll then have an update on CDRs, followed by a closer look at the recent tariff additions we made, just making sure you're fully aware of them and making the most of the opportunity with your customers. We're then going to have a look at mobile voice recording, or MVR, and that will give you an understanding of what it's going to look like in Complete Mobile and also the timelines to it. We'll then have a look at all things API related with an update where the focus is and the current roadmap. And then we'll wrap up with the Q&A. So just taking a very brief look at Complete Mobile, we've been very busy over the last 12 months iterating and adding to the product and proposition. And you can see some of the things that we've been busy working on here. So we've had the double data campaign, we added digital eSIM, deploy to device, and some CDR improvements. But the focus of today's call is very much looking at the here and now and some of the things that are coming, so you're nice and prepared. So in the here and now, those tariff additions, making sure you're clear on those, and the Ofcom regulations. And then into Q3, you can expect mobile voice recording, and then Q4, Q1, our first drop in terms of APIs. So I'm set the scene, I'm now going to pass you to Kieron, who's going to talk to you about Ofcom regulations.
Thanks, Nick. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kieron, and I'm the Service Readiness Professional for Complete Mobile, and I'm really happy to be here today to discuss the following Ofcom regulation, Bon Voyage. So, Bon Voyage is a new Ofcom ruling to ensure that the end users are fully aware of any charges that they may be applicable to when roaming. This is how we are going to keep the customers informed. As you can see, the text message to the left will be advising them when they've arrived at the destination. The text message to the right is when they start roaming and charges will be applied. What we'll also do concurrently against that is also send an email to the reseller to inform them to get in contact with their end user, just to ensure that they've got a roaming pass available and any spend caps, what they'll need to have. This is how we envision the end journey to be for the end user. What we want to see is that the end user proactively gets in contact with their reseller, and the reseller also proactively gets in contact with their end user. This is going to ensure a greater bond between the reseller and their end user, so they can take full advantage of the amazing roaming rates what Complete Mobile will be able to offer, and ensure all spend caps are set up correctly.
Thanks, Kieron. Hi, I'm Charlie Greenwood. I'm the Product Manager for Complete Mobile. First of all, we'd like to discuss the CDR updates, issues, and what's going to happen moving forward. As you all know, as I said last time, we are changing our billing platform from BT HAS to GCP. This will enable us to deliver CDRs on a more frequent basis. During this migration, we have come up against some roadblocks, such as missing MCC and MNC data. You've been receiving duplicate files, you've had missing files, you've had delays of 2, 3, 4 days. The investigations into all of these issues are still ongoing, but I have to say we have a couple of fixes that have already got in place and one that's due for later on this week. So, missing an incorrect call class, so your roaming calls are being classed as UK calls that could result in undercharging of your customers. That was fixed last week, and we've had no reports that that's come through in any different, so we know that is fixed. There was a detokenization issue, which was a misalignment of your account numbers, and that made us have a delay in processing time, which then delayed the CDR delivery to yourself. Again, that was fixed 2 weeks ago and we've had no issues again. Finally, we have a job reservoir issue. A temporary fix went in yesterday, and that means that by the end of today, all of the backlog of missing CDRs should be up to date. And from tomorrow, we will be back to continuous delivery of daily CDRs with a fuller fix going in later on this week. I can only apologise for the issues that you've seen since this move, but this move is positive as it will allow us to improve the service for yourselves. And I just thank you all for the patience that you've got while we're working through this. Tariff additions. As I said last time, we will review our tariffs once every 6 months. That doesn't always mean we'll change the tariffs, but we will have a deep dive into them, see if there is any market trends that we need to change. This time we've decided on 3 tariff additions. First of all, a lower data bundle. All research shows that data is on the increase, with the average at over 8 gigabytes per month for the average user. We do know there are low data users out there, so we've introduced a new 5 gigabyte bundle. That is across the 3 variants of 30-day, 12-month or 24-month. I want to say all of these new tariffs are available now. They're live in the price guide, but if you need any more information apart from today, please get in touch through to your account manager. The second new tariff is the mobile broadband 30-day. Last time we launched the mobile broadband packages, but they were just on 12 and 24 months. Feedback from yourselves said we'd like a 30-day one. So we've introduced it to allow coterminous contracts with your existing SIM packages. Again, these do cover the variants of 30, 200 and unlimited gigabyte bundles. And finally, a move away from our individual tariffs to an aggregated data option. What this is a pool of data shared between a number of users. For instance, you have 4 users, each with 2 gigabytes of data each. That gives a pool of 8 gigabytes that they can use. If 3 of those users use 1 gigabyte each for the month, that last user then has 5 gigabytes. Will allow you to manage any overspend. The way this is managed is either self-managed or automatically managed. Auto-managed will then take a 3-month average and it will move you up and down the bands as necessary. So you may see you moving into a higher band for 1 month and then a lower band the next month. This allows workers that are maybe seasonal or maybe have hot points within their year to manage their data usage, but never go out of bundle and spend out of bundle charges. One thing to note, resellers and end users, you cannot mix and match data allocations. So if you choose a 2 gigabyte option, everyone on that option is on 2 gigabytes. You can't have a 2 gigabyte and a 4 gigabyte. It is compatible with all our existing value-added services, such as the daily roaming passes and the international direct dial bundles. It is not compatible with individual spend caps, but it does work with the bill limiter, which will then protect you as the reseller as an overall bill limiter. Also bear in mind, these are only on 12 and 24 month options, as you do need that rolling 3-month period for self-optimization, and you need a minimum of 250 users on your accounts. As you can see, these are the options for the voice and data plan, so they range from 2 gigabytes all the way to unlimited, both on 12 and 24 month. We've also launched data-only plans, again from 2 gigabytes all the way up to unlimited, and on 12 and 24 month options. They're live now. Contact your account managers and away you go. Coming up in Q3, mobile voice recording will be launching. So what is it? Mobile voice recording and SMS capture. This is a network level mobile recorder and SMS capture, which allows you to store all of your recordings either on a dedicated server at your site or in the cloud. And it will allow you to search through all of that data and replay at any time. You can retain that data for up to 7 years. So it works around you. It's not just UK based. So whenever your customers are roaming, MVR still works for them. Has a wide device compatibility. And as I said, it has up to 7 years data retention, depending on which plan you choose. And again, all audio can be sent direct to your server or cloud server. As I said, it's a service you can trust. There's no app to install on a device. And we have heard that devices need apps for certain ones. Not for this. It's at the network level, so none of your end users need to actually do anything. It's easy to make changes within the portal. You can organise your own reports, daily, weekly or monthly, and you get expert support, not just on setup, but also throughout your lifetime with this product. It uses Amazon Web Services, the most trusted cloud platform in the UK. That gives you confidentiality. You will get receipts for each recording, and it was compliant with all key regulatory and compliance issues. As I said, this will be coming later in Q3, and we will be having a launch event for this. On to APIs. We spoke last time extensively about APIs, the roadmap, and what's going to be coming up, not just this year, but into the future. I just wanted to update on where we are. We prioritised our lead to cash APIs to allow you to place orders at scale. This will be coming at the end of Q4 into Q1, and it will allow you to activate your SIMs, add your spend caps on, add any passes or bolt-ons such as your roaming passes, your IDDs, order your eSIMs and how that's actually delivered to your customer, whether that's via QR or via deployed directly to device, integrated directly from your CRM into our systems. One thing we're going to go over today is a small design slide that it will talk about how your asynchronous and synchronous notification will come back to yourselves. So once you place an order from your CRM, it will go through many different systems within BT. As soon as you place that order and that order is live on our system, you will get a synchronous notification saying order confirmed. Doesn't mean your order is complete, it just means your order is in the system. As that's ticking through, you'll get a second notification saying order complete. That will allow you to know that the SIM is now active, ready to make calls or use data, and you can proactively manage your customers' expectations. It's not just the lead to cash APIs we're doing. Once the APIs for lead to cash are launched, we'll then go into development of our in-life management. Prioritization of that stack has started this month. You'll be hearing more about the T2R in-life management ones next time. Early testing for our lead to cash APIs will be starting early February. Thanks everyone for today. I'll hand you back to Nick.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Kieron. So we covered a lot there. Now it's time to open up for Q&A. Just have a look at some of the questions that have come in. So there's a question here about roaming. We covered roaming in terms of Ofcom earlier. This is slightly different. So there's a question about, are you going to adapt your roaming options going forward? So Charlie, perhaps get your thoughts on.
But as you've seen, we've just introduced 3 new tariffs. We introduced mobile broadband last time, always looking at our tariff options. Now with roaming, it's very different as things do change a lot. But I'm happy to hear your feedback. I always say, I think I know what my customers want. I don't. You know what you want. So please feed in any changes you'd like to see into your account manager, into your sales specialists. We will take all of that feedback in and we'll have a look and see what we can do for the future. I never promise everything that you ask for I'll deliver, but I'll always take it into consideration moving forward.
Thanks, Charlie. There's another question here, and this is about something a lot of partners are very interested in terms of the digital experience. So there's a question here about when is automation coming for Mobile Manager?
Also, great question. We did speak about this last time, and we just spoke about automation via APIs. Mobile Manager, which is our platform for you to use, already has automation for your in-life management. That's adding on your bars and your SIM swaps. But coming in Q4 and into Q1 again is the ability to order and activate your SIMs via Mobile Manager. I'll be talking more about that on the next update, but please bear with us. That'll be here by the end of Q4.
Thanks, Charlie. There's one perhaps for you, Kieron, here. So there's one about how do we connect aggregated data? So we heard the tariffs from Charlie earlier. How actually do they connect those?
Yeah, well, I mean, really simply, the same way as you would connect the individual plans. So you'll have a tariff code and a package code. So the existing connection template that's being used for the individual plans, it would just be that you would use. I've also implemented that connection template where it's got on a separate sheet the individual tariff codes and the aggregated data tariff codes as well. So be really easy to find, be really easy to align them to the correct part of the connection template, and it shouldn't be anything too different to what they originally have.
Excellent. So make sure you're on the current connection template and it's all there
Yeah.
for you. Brilliant. Okay. We've got a question here from Juliet. So she's asked, this is probably one for you, Charlie. 250 users is too high. We've been selling Teams aggregated on Teams eMobile for the last 20 months, and there's huge appetite for 100 plus users. So a question there about the aggregated positioning of where we draw
For the 250 users minimum on the account. No, I totally get that. And I'd say, I think the best thing to do is, let's set up a call with your account manager and work through the requirements that you need specifically. There's always something we can do. We like to speak to our customers, we like to speak to you, and we'll see what we can do with that. As I say, I can never promise anything, but let's have that conversation, see what the requirements are, and we'll move forward.
Thanks, Charlie. Okay. Thanks for your questions. And also thank you to today's speakers. Thank you.